People throughout the state. Only one known videotape exists of this phenomenon. It was shot by a retired pilot from the front yard of his home in Scottsdale, northeast of Phoenix.
At about 8:28 that evening, I was outside with my video camera and happened to look up, right about up in there, and saw a formation of lights moving from north to south. The V formation that flew over consisted of between 5 and 6 amber lights only, but it was totally silent, completely and totally silent.
Although this is the only actual videotape of the formation, other witnesses throughout Arizona reported seeing the UFO that evening. Artist Tim Lee created this image of the strange craft that passed over his home in central Phoenix.
The right arm of the object went directly over this house, over the property, and the left arm of that was probably about 2.5 blocks over in that direction. So when it came over, it pretty much dominated this whole quarter of this little valley up here.
3 years later, on January 5th, 2000, a similar event occurred in southern Illinois. Around 4 a.m., a series of calls began streaming into the regional 911 center in Belleville, approximately 18 miles southeast of St. Louis, Missouri.
I just received a call from Highland PD. Reference to a truck driver just stopped in and said there was a flying object in the area of Lebanon. It had white lights and red blinking lights, and it was last seen southwest over Lebanon.
All in all, 6 eyewitnesses, including 4 police officers, reported seeing a huge flying object.
The witnesses' description of what they saw is not entirely consistent, but the predominance seems to be that they saw some sort of a triangular-shaped vehicle with really, really bright lights on it.
Scott Air Force Base is located in the middle of the object's flight path. According to spokesman, however, the UFO could not have been a military aircraft from Scott.
Checking with our experts who work at airfield operations and the control tower, we found that our airfield was closed during that time. Our control tower was closed, so there was no way that there could have been an aircraft operating in and out of Scott Air Force Base, and there was no military tie to this sighting.
According to published reports, there was some speculation that the UFO was in fact a B-2 stealth bomber from Whiteman Air Force Base, over 200 miles away. But the B-2 bomber does not exhibit the flight characteristics described by the witnesses, such as the ability to hover. So what else could it have been? Is it possible that the object may have been a secret military aircraft, a so-called stealth blimp?
There's been rumors for a long time about a stealth blimp, and Lockheed actually has a patent for a large triangular-shaped, low-observable, lighter-than-air craft. So some of the craft they've seen could in fact be one of these stealth blimps or stealth dirigibles. Some of them are really huge. Now, over Hampton, Virginia, in the 1980s, there was one they estimated was over 1,000 feet long. It was bigger than the aircraft carrier, but it made no noise.
But others are not convinced that these are just experimental military aircraft, especially when they perform maneuvers that defy belief.
Just not enough evidence to convince me that it was tactical aircraft or something from another world. It's somewhere, it could be somewhere in between. I mean, there's just no way for me to know.
The truth behind these strange flying objects remains a mystery. Whether they were optical illusions, experimental aircraft, or of an unexplained origin. When we return, a mysterious object crashes into a ravine in Pennsylvania. Could there be an Area 51 connection? Next on Unsolved History.